Today we're taking you on one of Carnival Cruises' newest ships for a complete tour. The Carnival Mardi Gras has the first roller coaster at sea, family Feud live, brand new restaurants to Carnival Cruises, and more. How do you decide where to spend your time and what's included and costs extra? We're going to tell you everything you need to know about the Carnival Mardi Gras to help you plan for your trip. So stay tuned for all that and more. Before we get into the decks, let's take a look at the background and some stats about the Mardi Gras. The new Carnival Mardi Gras is a nod to the past while bringing you into the future. The first ship Carnival launched in 1972 was the TSS Mardi Gras, with the goal of making cruising something everybody can enjoy. The new Mardi Gras was built in 2021 and can accommodate over 6,000 passengers and 1,700 crew. There are 18 decks with a length of 344 meters or 1,129 feet and a gross tonnage of 183,900 gross tons. So this was actually my sister's first cruise she'd ever been on, and I told her it was bigger than a soccer field, just to give her a bit of insight into how big it is. Well, I underestimated, and she was absolutely shocked by the size because it's actually almost as big as 3 soccer fields. You definitely will be getting your steps in when exploring the ship. The Carnival Mardi Gras has 6 distinct zones, which have a completely different feel to all of them. There's Grand Central, French Quarter, Summer Landing, La Piazza, Lido, and Ultimate Playground. And we'll go into all the details about each zone as we go through the decks. So let's get started with our ship tour. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way to the top deck. On each deck, we're going to start at the front of the ship and work our way to the back. The lowest deck that passengers have access to is Deck 4, so let's get started there. There are a variety of staterooms, including interior and ocean view rooms. This is also where you'll find the kids area. The Family Harbor Lounge is an area for families that has 24-hour dining, boards, games, movies, as well as a concierge and babysitting services. The kids area on Carnival Cruises is called Camp Ocean. This is a free kids area on the cruise ships. It's aged for kids between 2 and 11. There are different rooms based on the kids' ages that have lots of different activities to participate in during the trip. We just love the theming down here. There are limited times through the cruise for kids under 2 at an additional cost. And we suggest on embarkation day heading over to Camp Ocean so you can talk to the staff, get a list of activities and the hours. We met a few families on the cruise and the kids absolutely love doing activities and meeting new friends. Another fun area that they have on this deck is Dr. Seuss's Bookville, which is the themed library with Dr. Seuss books in several languages, board games, and other activities. So if you're traveling with kids, you definitely want to check out this deck. On Deck 5, you can find Cloud9 Spa, which is the home to the thermal spa, treatment rooms, and the salon. To access this area, guests must be 18 years and older. Teens between 12 to 17 can enter when accompanied by an adult. This is a full spa like you would find at home. If there's any treatment you're interested in, they probably have it. And don't worry if you didn't get a chance to get your haircut or nails done before you left for your cruise, because you can do that on board. The thermal spa is really nice. I just wish they had some windows with a view. Also, on the first day of the cruise, there's usually a variety of deals happening, so if you plan on getting a treatment, be sure to go on the first day and talk to them there. You can also get tours of the spa, but no, they can be a little pushy on those sales tactics. I know my sister was a bit surprised and uncomfortable. On this deck, there's also a variety of staterooms. If you're looking for interior or ocean view and planning on spending a lot of time at the kids area or spa, this would be a good deck to be on. Let's move up to Deck 6, which is a busy entertainment deck with 2 zones, Grand Central and French Quarter.
Hey, this is Aaron jumping in here really quick. We are only a quarter of the way through the video, so keep on watching. This is a very long video. As you can imagine, it's a gigantic ship. Thank you to everybody who's reached out about my health. So for those who may not know, I had a liver transplant this year. Well, actually, I guess last year. So, I'm doing really well. Looking forward to 2023, I guess this year now, and have a bunch of stuff planned for it. So if you're interested, we did also launch a Patreon. We've not talked about this too much, but if you're interested in joining up, we're going to post some sort of behind the scenes, if you will, videos. As you know, Linda and I, we don't really like to show our faces. We're not really ones for making these videos about us. We prefer to make the videos about the ship and about the cruise so you are informed as to what the ship is like and what you can do on it, and not provide you a specific opinion one way or the other, but give you all the information that we have. So if you're interested in that, we are going to be launching a Patreon, or we have. It'll be linked below, along with some other stuff that you might be interested in if you are on a cruise ship. This is not our full-time job. We both have full-time jobs, and we're not in the travel agency, travel industry. So if you are interested, we would appreciate you signing up for that. Just helps us do these things, but we will do it either way. So thank you very much for all of your time and for watching. I'm going to hand it back to Linda, and she'll tell us more about this ship.
Starting at the bow, you have the Mardi Gras Theater. There is access from Deck 6 and 7, but Deck 7 is the most common entrance. This is the main theater for the grand production shows, and this is also where they host Family Feud and the Love and Marriage Game. The earlier show times are very popular, and they do fill up fast. If you are a night owl, we highly recommend going to the later shows. Next, you come to the main entrance for Cloud9 Spa, and right opposite is the fitness center. I really like the floor-to-ceiling windows that they had in the gym. It's nice to have a view when you're working out. Considering the size of the ship, this wasn't a massive gym, but it did have everything you needed. We stopped in here a few times and did some great workouts. There's also fitness classes, some that are free, but others that are charged. You can also pay for personal training. There's always an employee there, so you can stop by anytime if you have questions, but like the spa, sometimes they have deals on the first day of the cruise, and popular classes might fill up. Next, we come to Punchliner Comedy Club, which is a great venue for shows and trivia. We did a Harry Potter trivia here, and wow, there are some hardcore Harry Potter fans. They got perfect. I was pretty impressed. We did well. My sister definitely carried our team, and we only got one wrong. The Piano Bar 88 is so cool. From the window decor to the live music, this is a popular place for live drinks and anyone who likes an intimate venue, which has the potential of joining in on a sing-along. Now we're coming to the main area of the Grand Central Zone, which is where you can find the atrium and center stage. This is the bottom of the 3-floor open atrium, stage, and massive 3-deck windows, which makes it prime location for relaxing and enjoying the views while sailing. During the day, there are different activities here on the stage, and in the evening, there are some spectacular shows. It's fascinating to even just watch them set up the 16 individually controlled massive LED screens that retract into the floor. It's such a smart design that you don't need them out all the time to maximize viewing during the day, and in the evening you can create an immersive venue. While enjoying the views and the show, there's a lot of dining venues to get a great meal. The first is Java Blue Cafe. This is where you can get your coffee fix in the morning. They serve up a variety of hot beverages. There are an additional costs like cappuccinos, lattes, hot chocolates, or spiked coffees. There's also a selection of pastries. Those are included, and in the morning, or there are actually also pastries that can also cost extra, so just have a look. They are clearly marked. And in the morning, the breakfast items are included, and they have some grab-and-go stuff like breakfast sandwiches and fruit cups and those things off on the side. It's really convenient just to grab a quick snack. Also, as a side note, there is the included self-serve coffee bar available here, so that's very helpful. And right next to Java Blue is Cherry on Top. So if you are looking for some extra sweets while on board, you can get them there. And there's a large bulk candy selection. As we continue back, we enter the French Quarter Zone. And on one side of the elevators is the Brass Mongolia Bar. And on the other side is Carnival Fun Shops. The Brass Mongolia Bar is a New Orleans style jazz club lounge. We love the details they put into this bar. It's definitely worth stopping by, even during the day if the bar isn't open, to check out the theming. Next is the Flamingo Restaurant, which is one of the other dining venues that's only open for dinner. And on our sailing, this was available for people who were in Diamond and Gold VIFP Club. The fun shops are where you can get all your fun Carnival Cruise gear, and it's duty-free shopping. We got a couple of Christmas tree ornaments as a souvenir for our first time on the Carnival Mardi Gras. Next is the Fortune Teller Bar, which has some really cool theming and specialty drinks. Talk to the bartender because they can make you a mocktail as well. Emerald's Bistro is an additional cost to dine here. It's a la carte, so you pay per item. We had some friends who ate breakfast here and they said it was amazing. It's not a large venue, but was most popular at dinner. Next is the Carnival Kitchen, and this is where they host their cooking classes. You can sign up for those using the app when you book. This is also where they were doing the chef's table on our sailing. We have a video about that if you want to know more when this video is done. That was definitely my favorite dining experience. There's also a conference room on this floor near the aft, which is where you will find the Palm Restaurant. This is the lowest of the 2-story main dining room. There is traditional and anytime dining offered here, and the app was great for checking in. You definitely want to check in on the app for breakfast and dinner to avoid those long waits. We'd often check in while in our room getting ready, and then head down to the MDR when we got a notification that our table was ready. The dining reservations worked really well on this app. We were really impressed. So that is deck 6. Carnival did not spare when it came to details on the Carnival Mardi Gras, and we'll see that as we go through the next deck where we find my favorite bar. So as we continue up to deck 7, where the action of Grand Central continues, at the front of the ship is the main entrance to the theater. You then come to the casino, which has a large variety of table games and slots machines. Generally, the casino is open while sailing and closed while at port. There is smoking allowed at some slot machines and tables. The casino wraps around the large central stage area, and there's some seating on the outside, and there's also a bar on this level. When you leave the casino, you come to some more shops. You know, us cruisers love our duty-free shopping. Once you leave the casino, you come to Limelight Lounge, and we did see a comedy show here, and it's a great little intimate venue. There's a bar in there also, and they have karaoke and other live performances here. Now we come to my favorite bar. I know a lot of people love the Red Frog Tiki Bar, which we'll come to later, but I just love the Alchemy Bar. Carnival describes it as a vintage-themed cocktail pharmacy, and some of their bartenders are dressed in lab coats. We came across this bar on one of the first days of our sailing, and we were blown away by the details and design. From the carpet to the periodic table of elements, we just thought it was so unique. If you are interested in trying something fun and unique, then you'll want to check them out. And if you're not interested in alcohol, let the bartender know and they can make you a fun mocktail. The next restaurant we come to is a specialty restaurant that costs extra money to dine at, and it's Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse. And this is a very popular one. There is a bar right at the front, and anybody can get a drink there, and it can get crowded as people wait for their tables at the Palm Restaurant. But you do need a reservation for Fahrenheit 555, as this is the steakhouse on Carnival cruise ships and is very popular. It just so happened to be my sister's birthday while we were there, and they made it a little bit extra special. On our sailing, it was $45 US per person, and we have a full review also if you want to check that out when this video is done. The last venue on this deck is the second floor of the Palm Restaurant. We had some really nice meals in here, and the servers were super friendly. So that's all for deck 7. Let's move on to deck 8, where there is still a lot going on. Starting at the bow of the ship, you have the Havana Suites. We weren't sure what to expect staying in the Havana, but we were pleasantly surprised. There's also the Havana Bar, which is open to everyone, and sometimes they have events in here like line dancing and karaoke. The Havana outside bar and pool area is for Havana guests only. We've done a video on the Havana as well. You know what? I don't want to be annoying with plugging the content over and over, so I don't want to keep saying that. So we've got a ton of videos about the Mardi Gras, and we've got more coming out, and tons of cruising videos. So if you just want to know more, subscribe. Okay, so let's move on, and we'll just continue with our Mardi Gras tour. Next, you come to the restaurant Chebang, which is a brand new restaurant to Carnival, and the Mardi Gras is the first ship to have it. Right now, it is included in the cost, and we do recommend checking them out. They're open for lunch and dinner, and they serve up Chinese and Mexican food. We really enjoy lunch here with the floor-to-ceiling windows and love the details that they have in the ceiling and decor. As you continue back, you come to the Dream Studio, which is where you can book for professional photography sessions. Then you come to the top deck of the Grand Central, which has some seats and viewing of the stage below. Just behind are a couple restaurants like Bonsai Teppanyaki, which is where the chefs cook right in front of you at those specially made tables. This restaurant is not included and does cost extra, and reservations are required and recommended to book prior to your sailing. Another beautiful looking restaurant that's right next door is Bonsai Sushi. They're open for lunch and dinner. This is also an additional cost, but it is a la carte, so you'll only pay for the items that you order, and it might not be as expensive as some of the other specialty restaurants. Next is the FE shop, and as I said, people love to shop. So my sister and I saw that there was this free bracelet giveaway, and we wanted to check it out. The line was massive, but we thought, hey, you get a free bracelet, so we joined on in. Well, when you get to the front, you get your free bracelet, and if you want, there's a special deal where you can pay $10 for 5 charms. Well, we are both suckers, and we did get those charms as well. So, yep, that happened. As you continue on Deck 8 on the Mardi Gras, you come to Pixel's Gallery, where you can purchase your photos that were taken on the cruise. They also have a store where you can get any accessories. Past that, we enter the third zone, La Piazza. As this name would suggest, this is the Italian-themed section of the ship with restaurants and bars. The first you come to is Cucina del Capitano. This is usually an additional charge, but right now it is also free. It's an Italian restaurant that's open for lunch and dinner. The menu is not the same at lunch and dinner, so make sure you have a look and see which one you would prefer. The menu is inspired by Italian captains and officers and their childhood dishes. This is a fun restaurant to check out, especially while it is free. If you want some pizza quick, then you'll want to go to Pizzeria del Capitano, and don't worry about the time of day as they're open 24 hours a day. The pizza is cooked fresh in their pizza ovens, and you can sit inside or outside. Right next to the pizzeria is Piazza Panini, which we had some great sandwiches at. Actually, this was the first thing we had for lunch on our sailing, and we just knew it was going to be a great trip. Just a side note, the outside area, there is smoking and non-smoking, so if you do find smoke is an issue for you, then you probably don't want to choose that outdoor eating area, and you probably don't want a stateroom near here on Deck 7 or 8. Next is Rudy's Sea Grill, an amazing seafood restaurant with some unique plating and indoor and outdoor seating. This was my sister's favorite restaurant. At Rudy's Sea Grill, it is an additional charge and reservations are suggested. Carnival Adventures is where you'll go for help booking your shore excursions, and right next is guest services. We saw some big lines, especially on the first couple days of our cruise, for people waiting to talk to guest services, but you can check in on the Carnival Cruise app, which is really smart, so you can keep having your fun while you're waiting for your turn. Just past guest services, there's more duty-free shopping. This had alcohol and some medical stuff. A good travel trip is to bring your own Tylenol. They actually sold out of Tylenol on the second day of our sailing. Coming to the aft of the 8th deck, we enter the 4th zone, Summer Landing. The main dining location here is Guy's Pig and Anchor Smokehouse and Brewery. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's tons of seating inside and outside. This is where we had the best mac and cheese on board. The lunch is only offered on sea days, so make sure you check your app for times so you don't mix out. Right next to Guy's Pig and Anchor, there's a soft serve machine. Being that this is the deck our stateroom is on, this is where we got ice cream most nights. Finishing off the inside is Heroes Tribute Lounge, which is with Operation Homefront and is for people 21 and up and has comfortable seating and large TVs. Outside, you find the watering hole bar for all your drink needs while enjoying the hot tubs and large patio pool off the back of the ship. This pool area is much calmer than the beach pool as there isn't live music and pool games, but it does get very busy. So that was another very busy deck with a couple new zones. But as we continue, the next few decks are not as busy in terms of entertainment and dining. Decks 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are all staterooms. So now we jump on up to the next big entertainment and dining area of the ship, Deck 16. At the very aft of the ship is the bridge, and passengers won't be able to access that. This deck is the Lido deck, and when you come off the elevator, the area you come to is Street Eats, which is awesome. I love how it looks and the variety of food with daily special options. We got some bao buns, cheese fries, and a nice stir fry. This is a great place to come for lunch or grab some food if you're relaxing by the pool. They are all included except for the Seafood Shack, which is a la carte, costing between $14 and $16 per item. This serves up some great seafood options, and they often pick up some at the ports along the way. On the other side is the Blue Iguana Cantina, which isn't included and has Mexican food. They're open for breakfast and lunch, It's another nice quiet breakfast option. We really liked the selection of poolside food and that it wasn't just burgers and hot dogs. You can enjoy your food while watching all the excitement at the beach pool. This is a fun pool, but it gets busy. They have games and activities here during the day. They also have live music, and this is where they had their 80s party. That was absolutely amazing, and we now know to bring our own clothes to dress up for the 80s parties next time. The theme of the Red Frog Tiki Bar tied in great with the beach pool here. It was a nice place to sit down with your lunch and have a drink. They are there for all of your poolside drink needs while enjoying the sun. This deck is also where you'll find the Lido Marketplace, which is the buffet on board. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they have a great variety and selection of food, including salads, sandwiches, pasta, stir fry, and lots of desserts. This was definitely one of the best cake selections I've ever had on a cruise ship. I also really liked the theming in the buffet. A couple times in the evening, we came up for a cup of tea and just enjoyed finding a quiet place to sit. Another special restaurant on the Carnival Mardi Gras is the second ever Big Chicken at Sea. This is Shaq's Chicken Restaurant, and oh man, this was popular and delicious. We may have stopped in here for an early pre-dinner before they closed. It is included and definitely worth checking out. Out the back of this deck, you'll also find the tidal bar and pool. There's one pool and 2 world pools and has great views off the back of the ship. The fun does not stop there as we head up to deck 17. At the front of the ship, there are more staterooms. This would be great if you plan on spending a lot of time at the beach pool. Then there's also a lot of seating that overlooks the pool and some day beds and seats that are in the shade. As you walk around the pool, you come to the second floor of the Red Frog Tiki Bar. Oh yeah, this is a double-decker bar. There are stairs around the side, which makes it easy to get up and down as well, and the fun of the tiki theming continues. Just behind the Tiki Bar is Guy's Burger Joint. This is Carnival Cruises' signature burger bar and one of the best we've ever had on a cruise ship. This is included in your cruise fare and is open for lunch and dinner from noon to 6 p.m. There are tons of made-to-order burgers and hand-cut fries. If you are a burger fan, then you want to eat at Guy's Burger Bar. On the other side of the elevators is the warehouse. This is a video arcade for kids and adults and is open 24 hours whenever you want to take on a friend in skee ball or try and win a prize. The cost of the games is $1 to $2. On deck 17 of the Mardi Gras is where you'll find a couple more kids area, Circle C for kids between 12 and 14 years old, and they have a dance floor, gaming pods with consoles, and different activities like scavenger hunts and themed parties. Club 02 is the other teen spot, and this is for teens 15 to 17 years old, where they can watch movies, play video games, and more. Like the kids area, we recommend checking them out on the first day of your cruise so you can see what's happening on your sailing. Only 2 more decks left. You guys were doing great. Deck 18 is split into 2, and you want to make sure you use the correct elevators or you have to go back down and walk to the other elevators. We definitely had to do that a couple times. The front section of Deck 18 is the Serenity Spa, which is the adult-only section for guests 21 years and older, and there's no extra charge to enjoy this area. There are 2 whirlpools, cabanas, and a pool. There are also great views over the front of the ship. While relaxing, you can get some food from Fresh Creations that's also included. There is also Serenity Bar for all your drink needs. This is a great section if you're looking for some calmer fun, but it can get busy, especially on those sea days. At the other end of the ship, accessible from the aft elevators, is the Ultimate Playground. If you're a thrill seeker, this is where you're going to spend most of your time. This is an area for the entire family, adults and kids. Here you'll find an aqua park with 3 water slides, 2 racing slides, a dump bucket, as well as a basketball court, rope course, jogging track, and a mini golf course. Doing a ropes course 18 decks up at sea is scary, but we did it. Sister power. All these activities are also included, like the water slide, mini putt, and ropes course. This deck is also where you will find access to the Balt Ultimate Sea Coaster, which is the first roller coaster at sea. So let's head up to deck 19. At the front of the ship is Loft 19, which is a brand new and a VIP area which costs extra. There is a bar, swimming pool, cabanas, and more. This might be worth paying for on sea days as the other pools are super busy. I'm a little too cheap, so we didn't pay for Loft 19, but if you have, let us know what you think in the comments below. Now at the back of the ship is the ultimate sea coaster. As much as I said I might be cheap, we did pay to do this. It costs $15 each to ride the coaster. It was so much fun, we actually signed up again to do it on our last day. It went way faster than I expected. I had to remind myself to enjoy the views as we were going around. So as I said, this was my sister's first cruise, and overall, we both had an amazing time. She loved it so much, she only wants to sail on the Carnival Mardi Gras from now on because she knows she'll have a great time and enjoy all the food and activities. And I found as an experienced cruiser that I was really impressed with the food selection and quality. I also enjoyed the activities that they had on board. So what do you think of this epic ship? Would you try the Balt? What's your favorite restaurant on board? Also, we want to thank everyone who supported our merchandise fundraiser for the months of November and December. We got messages from many of you that you donated to your own charities as well. And as a Flamingo family, we donated $200 to Feud Ontario, which is the equivalent of 600 meals. So that's amazing. And thank you again to everyone for all your support and spreading the love. And before we go, remember, memories are forever, so make them fabulous. Thanks again for watching and happy travels. On deck 5, you'll find Cloud 9. Oh my goodness.